Fans, at this time we ask you please turn your attention to the field for today's Senior Day ceremony for Post University Women's Lacrosse. Our first senior came to the program this season for her grad year after spending 4 seasons at Mitchell College. During her time as a Mariner, she played and started in all 49 games she appeared in, tallying 32 goals, 11 assists, and 43 points offensively. On defense, she had 161 ground balls and 76 caused turnovers, while winning 142 draw controls and being a 2-time NECC Academic All-Conference team selection. This season, she has scored twice for 2 points while tallying 2 ground balls and a caused turnover. From Farmington, Connecticut, midfield number 10, Jessica Krupnikoff. And our second and final senior is in her 3rd season with the program after transferring in from Felician University ahead of the 2023 season. In her 3 seasons with the team, she has accumulated 214 saves, while over the course of her career topping the 400 save mark, posting a .405 save percentage and a 14.32 goals against average. She's currently on track to break the career goals against average for the program and owns a single game record in 2023 at 11.06. From Hamilton, Ontario, goalie number 77, Lauren Bain. Post University would like to thank our seniors for all their hard work and dedication to the women's lacrosse program throughout their time here at the institution and wish them well in their next chapter. Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to Lemoyne Field for this non-conference matchup featuring the visiting Spartans of St. Thomas Aquinas College in your post-university Eagles. Prior to today's national anthem, we will do the starting lineups first for the visiting Spartans. The graduate midfielder number 4, Haley Gallison. A sophomore attacker number 7, Charlotte Lecure. A senior defender number 8, Nicola Van Vuren. A sophomore attacker number 10, Claire Griffin. A junior midfielder number 12, Jada Garcia. A freshman midfielder number 13, Morgan Van Dover. A sophomore defender number 15, Brianna Cody. A graduate midfielder number 16, Caitlin Serrato. A sophomore attacker number 17, Megan Tarantino. A freshman attacker number 18, Lily Schomer. A freshman defender number 23, Cecilia Gooding. And in goal, a sophomore number 26, Lila Magenheimer. And now here's the starting lineup for your post-university Eagles. On defense, a freshman number 6, Devin Amundsen. At midfield, a freshman number 7, Karis Kale. At midfield, a graduate student number 10, Jessica Krupnikoff. At attack, a sophomore number 12, Macy Peterson. At midfield, a junior number 13, Anna D'Angelo. At defense, a junior number 14, Kelsey Green. At midfield, a senior number 16, Alyssa Hebb. At defense, a junior number 17, Paige Piper. At attack, a junior number 21, Riley Patfield. At defense, a junior number 23, Dakota Jez. On attack, a junior number 30, Nikki Johnson. And in goal, a graduate student number 77, Lauren Bain. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps for today's playing of the national anthem. A windy and warm welcome to you from Lemoyne Field. Good afternoon, folks. It's senior day here for post-university women's lacrosse. As you just heard, we honored our two seniors, Jessica Krupnikoff and Lauren Bain, as we get set for the final non-conference matchup of the season for your post-university Eagles, coming into this game at 0-8 on the season and 0-8 in conference play. And they're going to go up against the Spartans team that comes into this one at 3-11. So a couple of teams looking to get in the right direction as their season comes to a close. And it's also our Morgan's Message game today as well, as the teams honor mental health awareness. And we're going to do that read for you real quick here. Post University is dedicating today's game to the life and legacy of Morgan Rogers, a former Duke University lacrosse student athlete who died tragically in July 2019 after battling mental health struggles. Although Morgan's life was cut way too short, her legacy of unconditional love remains. Morgan's message was created by her family and former teammates with the mission to eliminate the stigma surrounding mental health, normalize the conversations about mental health, and to ensure the mental health is treated equally to physical health for all student athletes. For more information on Morgan's life and legacy, and how you can help those with mental health struggles, please visit morgansmessage.org. And with that, the teams will take the field momentarily for this one. Like we mentioned, the Eagles coming into this game in search of their first win of the season. And Stack looking to improve to 4-11 on the year. You heard the starting lineups already, so we'll just jump right into this game as the teams take the field. It's Lila Magenheimer in net for the visitors, and Lauren Bain, who comes into this one at 0-8 so far this year in net for your Eagles. Looks like Alyssa Hebb will be the one to take the draw control. And we're ready to get underway here from Lemoy Field. Not the only team in action either today. It's also the baseball team is going to be playing over, starting actually right around now against Bloomfield College for a pair of games over there at Municipal Stadium, as Alyssa Hebb and Caitlin Serrato are taking the draw control here, thinking men's lacrosse in my head. And the ball is up for grabs on the ground, and we are underway from Lemoy Field for the penultimate game of Post University Women's Lacrosse's season. They will take on nationally ranked Dominican University later on next week in their 10th and final game of the year. Spartans control the ball early on and walking around with it. They're in their black and maroon tops. A little bit tough to see the numbers from where we are, but we'll do our best as the game goes on. Not a lot of subs for either team. The only ones for Post, Timmery Grom and Ruby Mitchell, and then the goalie Aviana Ramos. As for Stack, they just have one, and it's Alyssa Ogilvy. They have 3 players who are listed as out for today's game, as there's a foul called, I believe, on Jez, and it'll be a free position shot from the right side of the circle. Looks like that's Jada Garcia taking the shot. Garcia fires, and it's saved by Bain, but Garcia is going to pick up the loose ball and take it back out. Tarantino now controls, throws it into the middle, and they're going to have another stoppage. Whistle blown. I believe they're saying that Gallison was in the crease. Not 100% sure. Nope, they're going to have another free position shot, and it's going to be Tarantino taking it from the right side. Just outside of that orange and red circle. Watson fires and scores, and that's the first goal of the day for Megan Tarantino. 1-0 Stack. Just over a minute into this one. The Eagles are coming off one of their best offensive performances at home against the University of Bridgeport earlier this week. They lost 17-6, but in terms of shots on goal and shots overall, they had season highs in both categories. And then they struggled on the road against Jefferson University on Thursday, falling 24-2. And now in Paige Piper and Alyssa Hebb, who have 12 of the 18 goals this year for Post combined, scored in that one. Paige Piper leads the team with 7 goals so far this year, as it'll be Hebb taking the draw control against Serrato again. And that one's going to be won by the Spartans, and taking it down the field is Gallison now. Spartans with control of it now, over to Serrato. Pushing it down behind the net, over to the 4'6" freshman, number 18, Lily Schomer. And now Schomer looking for it in the middle as they're rotating it around. Kind of hard to tell at times where the ball is, as loose in front with it was Gallison, and now still looking to try and grab it was a couple of players for both sides, and Anna D'Angelo comes away with it, and she's off to the races the other way. Over towards midfield, throws it across field to Krupnikov. Krupnikov towards the middle, trying to make a move towards the center on Van Vuren. And now a few more Spartans coming over. She fakes the shot, and now she's going to get it deep into territory, so the Eagles setting up a play here now. Hebb fires, scores! And Alyssa Hebb with the goal, and we're tied up at 1. Less than a minute after the first goal of the game by Tarantino. Alyssa Hebb ties it up. I think the Spartans were looking for some sort of violation. I'm not really sure, because I did notice the goalie was a little over there. Magenheimer was a little bit confused. I thought she was looking at the ref for a call to wave off the goal. Couldn't quite tell 100% though. 13:02 to go. We're tied here at 1. It's going to be the same 2 in the face-off dot, Hebb and Serrato for the draw control. So far, Serrato's won the first 2 of this game, looking for a third. This one's going to be won by the Eagles, and Dakota Jez now off to the races into the offensive zone. The Eagles did it, that's Anna D'Angelo with it, into the offensive zone, the 23-13. Paige Piper picks it up. Eagles now have a chance to settle things down and get into offensive position. This is a big thing for them. If they are able to do that today and set something up offensively, they will have a lot more success on the offensive end as opposed to when they're out. They're trying to run without numbers down the field. As we just saw, they had numbers down the field and were able to get Krupnikov into position and then get everybody down there offensively to help aid in getting that first goal from Alyssa Hebb, as this is going to be a restart as Piper was fouled just outside of the zone. Carrying that around there is Macy Peterson. So interesting to note, too, we want to make sure that everybody's aware there are a lot of women's hockey players that are playing on this team this year coming into the year. I believe there's 8 or 9. As firing on net is D'Angelo, and right back behind the goal to get his Krupnikov, but she can't quite hold on, and that's going to go to Stack. So unfortunately, Krupnikov couldn't handle it on the offensive end, so put that down as a turnover for her. It'll be Stack balls just after the reset in which Piper had. So, like I mentioned, a lot of women's ice hockey players on this team for Post who helped round out the roster to get them to the desired number that head coach Shelby Page, named head coach earlier in the season, needed. Turnover now the other way. Kale had it, lost it, and now everybody's scrambling to pick it up near the zone. Still no one with it. Johnson in there trying to grab it, and then eventually coming out with it, looking for a number, is Gallison. And she gets it over to Magenheimer in net, and now out with it comes Magenheimer, and now all alone in space. Possibly a breakaway here. It's scooped up by number 16, Caitlin Serrato. Serrato fires. Nice save by Lauren Bain. And on senior day, she's got a breakaway save, a big breakaway save, to keep this game tied up at 1, and now back over the other way come the Eagles with it. Piper now in transition. This is what I was talking about by having numbers, and now they can set things up offensively. Piper tries to make a move towards the middle, cut off there by Gallison, and pushed back out. Gallison still trailing her and moves it over to Amundsen. That's Riley Patfield. And now back over behind the net with it is Krupnikov, and over to Johnson. Like I mentioned, I'll mention it when we have a little bit of a breather here. Because there are a lot of women's ice hockey players, it's sometimes hard to tell because I'm used to seeing the numbers of them playing women's ice hockey. And so the transition for some of them over to women's lacrosse, they have different numbers than what they had on the ice throughout the year. So bear with me. It will take a little bit to get used to seeing these numbers that I'm a little unfamiliar with because they wear different numbers throughout the ice hockey season. Restart for Peterson over near the blue line, and we're back into the box with it. The Eagles in the offensive zone, as there was a penalty just awarded to Claire Griffin, so the Eagles on the man-up advantage for the next minute. D'Angelo over to Piper. Pushes it over to Hebb. Hebb shoots, saved by Magenheimer. And now Johnson behind the net's going to pick it up for the Eagles. About 5 minutes gone by, 40 seconds left on the man-up advantage. Ball is loose. Peterson over there trying to grab it along with Piper. There's a Spartan in there. That was Van Vuren. It's going to stay with the Eagles, though. The Eagles controlling the pace of play here in the first 5 minutes. As we're looking on the sideline, Alyssa Ogilvie looks like she's getting ready to come in for Stack. Over to Anna D'Angelo. D'Angelo call a whistle. It looks like it's going to be a free position shot for Anna D'Angelo. Trying to give the Eagles the lead here with 9:45 and counting in the first. Waiting for everybody to get into position, the ref to blow the whistle, and D'Angelo will look to fire on Magenheimer. D'Angelo races in, and they blow the whistle again. And we'll redo it all over again. Not sure what the call was there. I think they're saying that some of the Stack players aren't in the right spots they're supposed to be for the free position. So we see some people moving around now. And now Anna D'Angelo comes in, fires, and it's saved by Magenheimer. Patfield picks it up, still in the offensive zone. Penalty is expired. Out comes Alyssa Ogilvie now on the field. As over to the sideline goes Claire Griffin. Eagles controlling it with D'Angelo now. D'Angelo tries to make a cut towards the middle. She does, fires, and it's off the post. Coming out with it is Hebb with the ground ball. Eagles have controlled the last minute or so of play here in the offensive zone as we are still tied up at 1-all. And this is big too because both teams have a short bench. They cannot be playing super fast because you don't want to tire people out as you get into the latter stages of this game. So the Eagles doing a really good job of keeping a nice slow-tempoed game right now and controlling the game offensively because the Eagles' defense this year has given up about 20 goals per game. So being able to prevent the Spartans from being in the offensive zone for a long time and getting a lot of opportunities, really waste that clock down and get your offensive opportunities, get that shot clock down the whole 90 seconds and limit the number of offensive opportunities Stack gets in this game, and you're going to be in good shape if you're the Eagles. But guess what? The Spartans have a short bench too. They've only got one person on the bench. They have 3 people out today. The Eagles have 2 out, and they have a couple more people on the bench, which could bode well for them later on. But again, that's why if you want to play a fast pace, it's going to be very hard to keep it up. Magenheimer just throws that one right to the Eagles. Have initially had it, but couldn't hold on. And now Jez has it, and back in the offensive zone with it is Tim Marie Grom. Eagles owning the shot advantage 5-2 right now. Grubnikov can't handle that. It's going to be another turnover for her. So the Eagles, a couple of offensive opportunities going by the wayside now as Grubnikov has had a couple of turnovers behind the net. 7.5 minutes or so remaining here in the first. We're tied up at 1 at Lemoyne Field. Mike Vesey joining you for this Senior Day matchup as the Eagles look for their first win of the 2025 campaign. And racing into the zone with it now is Vandover. Vandover loses it, and right near her is Amundsen. Nope, that is Amundsen and Kale. Amundsen typically wears 37 for the women's ice hockey team. Kale, I believe, if I remember correctly from the season, wears 7 typically, but can't quite remember all these numbers when it's all the women's ice hockey players since I was so used to seeing them on the ice for 4 or 5 months in different uniforms. Lucor out with it now, and Stack kind of doing a little Harlem Globetrotters there with the ball, passing it all around, and now Gallison's got it. Spartans playing a very slow, methodical pace as well. Fired on net, and Bain with the save. Lauren Bain showing up big for the team today in the first quarter on Senior Day. The Eagles, again, have one more game at Lemoyne Field against nationally ranked Dominican University next week, so that's going to be a tough matchup. This is a very winnable game for Post, just like the Bridgeport one was and a couple earlier ones this year. The Eagles, though, offensively have struggled to get opportunities, but they've had their chances here in the early parts of this one against the Spartans. Piper tries to make a move in. She does, fires, and it's blocked in front there by Gallison. And I believe looks like a free position shot? Nope, I lied. Magenheimer with the ball. I think there was a whistle on. So there was a flag called on Post. It's a 1 minute for Paige Piper. A green card issued to Paige Piper. We couldn't hear the refs call it from up here, what it was for. I'm also wearing a headset, so I can't really hear the refs from the headset to get the calls. It's actually a 2 minute green card for Paige Piper. So the Eagles are going to be on the man down for the next 2 minutes or so. And if you do the math, that's a minute and a half on the shot clock. So if the Spartans were to waste the entire shot clock, there'd still be 30 seconds left on the kill. Not quite sure if it was releasable either. The refs were very unclear to everybody up here on what it was, and then play just kind of resumed without anything even being ready on the board. But we got it all figured out now as Tarantino holds on to it and gets it over to Gallison. Spartans playing very slow. This is going to be a very slow game, folks, so if you're tuning in, like I mentioned, both teams with very short benches, both teams under 500. The Eagles looking for their first win of the season. But with short benches, you can't use a lot of that energy early on because you want to have it for that second half. Bain comes in to try and get it, and that is a mistake for her. She was trying to get in there to try and break up what was a great pass to the middle, and I cannot even see who got the shot and score. It was Garcia with the goal from Vandover in the box area, as that makes so that was a releasable. Piper comes back on. penalty expires. So with 5:26 remaining, Jada Garcia scores a goal, and it makes it 2-1. They capitalize on the opportunity. Bain just came a little too far out on that one instead of waiting back in the crease to try and make the stop. And as a result, that little area of space was able to give Garcia just enough room to get into what was an empty net because of how far out Bain comes. But it's 2-1, 5:26 to go. And it'll be Heb and Serrato taking the face-off. It's won by, no, Heb nearly had it, lost it, and then it's picked up by Serrato, and the other way coming with it are the Spartans. Racing in with it is Serrato, and she scores. Wastes no time getting the Spartans their second goal of the game, second goal in less than 30 seconds to get their third goal of the game. And just like that, it's 3-1 Spartans here in the first with 5:14 remaining, and that 5-2 shot on goal advantage has quickly become a 5-5 shot on goal scenario as the Eagles will call timeout. We'll be back in a moment. Spartans leading 3-1 here on Senior Day. Back here in the first quarter, Eagles just called timeout as they trail 3-1 now. And we are also looking at participation for the game. Again, because of the short benches, everybody is, except for, we haven't seen Ruby Mitchell on the field yet. I lied, I see her on the field now. Well, Kristen, that answers your question. Everybody's made it on the field now, except for Aviana Ramos, who's the backup goalie for the Eagles. Every single player for both teams who is active today has made it on the field. And if Lauren Bain was subbed out, then Aviana Ramos would make it literally every single person for both teams getting into this one. So we continue play here. The draw control won by Stack, and they're coming over with it now with Van Dover. Van Dover racing in, fires, and she scores. 3 straight goals from the Spartans, all within the last not even minute. The first one came at 5:26. The next one came 12 seconds later. And as I'm doing the math in my head now, that was 20 seconds after that. So 3 quick goals from the Spartans have flipped this game in their favor. The Eagles now trailing by 3 after they controlled the tempo early on. They got to try and get back to that here. It starts with winning in the face-off circle, which has been a big reason why the Spartans are out to this quick edge. Caitlin Serrato has won a few draw controls, trying to get it up on the box score here. And actually, the problem with it is sidearm doesn't show the draw controls on here properly, so I cannot quite tell who is one of the Spartans are in favor of it 4-1, now 4-2 as the Eagles win that one, and Anna D'Angelo comes away with it into the offensive zone. Looking for a quick answer here. D'Angelo with some space, racing in, makes a move, fires, and she scores. It's a goal frenzy here as the Eagles answer right back after 3 straight goals by the Spartans. Between the timeout now, we've had 4 goals scored in less than a minute, as D'Angelo just took that one off the faceoff and ran with it 50 yards or so down the field and scores. So much for playing nice and slow with the short benches. Both teams said, Mike, we're going to play fast. We don't care what you think with the short benches. We can do this. Hebben Serrato once again in the face-off dot. It's now 4-2 in terms of draw controls won in favor of Stack. But you see how important that draw control win is, as the Eagles won it, and as a result, they went right down the field and scored, which was what Spartans had done on those previous 2 possessions as part of that 3-goal run. It's another win for the Spartans, and Galliston holds it now, offensive zone. Heb was hounding her for a moment, and now she's going to throw it away. Gets it over to Serrato, the face-off circle. And now Ruby Mitchell gets hit. I believe they're calling some sort of violation on Stack, so it'll be post ball. Down by 2 with 4:11 to go in the first. Amundsen grabs it, and they're trying to get it across midfield. And, oh, wow, nice handles there to keep hold of it as Van Dover was slashing away at it. She's making a move to the middle, and now knocking that one loose was Garcia. Amundsen able to get it back, though, gets it away and wins space is Patfield. Patfield makes a move toward the outside and shoots it high and over the goal. Not quite sure why she went to the outside on that one. She had a little bit of space towards the middle. But nonetheless, Patfield with a good shot. Eagles retain possession, and we play on here with 3:40 to go. Eagles in the offensive zone now. Peterson with it. And now they're trying to slow down that pace a little bit. Krubnikov behind the goal with it. Has Patfield if she wants it, but is just going to move around and gets it over to Anna D'Angelo. D'Angelo now moving into a little bit of traffic with the Spartans, and now moving in with it is Piper. Piper with space in the shot. Saved by Magenheimer. A great stop by the goaltender there to keep this at a 2-goal game with 3 minutes remaining in the first. We've seen a lot of action from both these teams as the sun starts to peek out too, folks. It's supposed to be in the 80s today. It's April, and just a few days ago, we were playing a game and it was in the 30s here at Lemoy Field. So it's crazy how quickly the weather can change in New England, as it's shaping up to be a beautiful day here for Senior Day. Of course, then come Monday, it's going to be like 55 degrees for our softball season finale. But you take what you can get here, and we're taking a beautiful day in here, and we're glad you could join us here wherever you're tuning in from for this one. 4-2, the Spartans lead your Eagles as Post searches for their first win of the year, and they've had a lot of opportunities early on in this game to score against Magenheimer and this Spartans defense. And they have another chance right here as Johnson has it behind the goal and tries to make a move towards the middle. Passes it off to Krubnikov. Krubnikov handling it, makes a spin move, trying to find a lane to shoot and just can't. Just pushed to the outside, and Anna D'Angelo can't quite hold on, and it's going to go the other way. Not sure if it's because they won the race to the ball, Van Vuren. I don't know if it's because she won the race to the ball Not quite sure if it was because of that or because they might have tipped off of D'Angelo's stick. Nonetheless, Spartan ball, 150 and change to go, 150 and counting to go. So the Spartans will not be able to hold for the last shot unless they get a shot off at some point coming up, and never mind, as there's a turnover. Now the Eagles have a chance to waste pretty much the rest of the shot clock, but they're not going to do that. It looks like as Heb's just flying through the middle, they're going to call let's see who this is on. That looks like a yellow card? Green card. A green card for Caitlin Serrato, illegal use of the stick. Excuse me, that was Megan Tarantino who draws it, not Serrato. So illegal use of the stick. The Eagles don't have to rush here. They can waste the shot clock for the rest of the time, and instead they fire right away. And they retain the offensive possession for the free position shot, but I guess they're going to try and go 2 for 1 here. Anna D'Angelo will take it with a minute and counting. And they let the shot clock, or the game clock run, so they're going to change the possession clock to 60. So after this shot, the Eagles will not be able to retain the full possession. They added a few seconds to the clock as it continued to run down after the free position was called. They're having issues changing the possession clock up here, so we'll hold for a moment. 1:24 to go, 4-2 stack. Eagles with a free position shot. I guess this kind of works in the Eagles' favor a little bit as they can maybe put something together or talk with each other and prepare. And it's reset to 74 seconds, which won't matter as that one is stopped by Magenheimer and it'll be stack ball, and they'll be able to now have a chance to waste the rest of this clock and quarter down. So a big opportunity for Post. Unable to do anything with it, but then now a loose ball as Van Dover wasn't able to hold on, and the Eagles pick it up. Macy Peterson's got it. Going to get another whistle, and it's a green card on Cecilia Gooding. Cecilia Gooding with a green card, and now the Eagles have a huge opportunity here with a two-man advantage. A minute left. There's 10 seconds on the penalty. They can get a quick shot here. They can go 2 for 1 on the man up. It doesn't look like they're going to do it, though. Heb into the middle, not able to be handled, but Johnson's right there to pick it up. First penalty's expired, and Johnson just throws it away. But the Eagles retain possession as D'Angelo is able to grab it, but I think they're going to say Kelsey Green stepped over the line. She did, and that's going to go back to the Spartans, even though the Eagles have the man advantage. It's just a little bit of sloppy play there on the man up, prevents the Eagles from getting another offensive chance, but they're trying to hound Van Dover as she's running across the field with it. Van Dover holding on. And they're just trying to waste down the clock. And now another whistle. I think there's another penalty coming. Yeah. So that's a green card on Alyssa Heb. I don't know what the call was for that one, but if you're keeping track at home now, that's 3 penalties thrown out in the last literally less than a minute. So we go from 4 goals in a minute to 3 penalties in a minute, as both teams playing a little bit sloppy. And again, with the short benches, if you get too many cards, you end up getting thrown out of the game. So you don't want to do that here, else you might end up playing a man down the entire rest of this game. And, I mean, Post has more people on the bench to do that, to have backups, but the Spartans don't. As we end the first, it's 4-2. Post trails. We'll be back with the second quarter in 2 minutes here on CSCC Network and YouTube. All right, we're back here with the second quarter. 4-2, Post trails. I've lost access to the live stats as well as my laptop just shut down and won't turn back on. Hopefully we get those soon. But Post trails, they're also trailing in the draw control category. If I have to pull it out on my phone, I will. And the Eagles are going to be on the man down for the first part of this as Alyssa Hebb drew a penalty towards the end of the first quarter. Eagles had a very strong start to the first quarter, but then it seemed like over time they just kind of lost their groove and weren't able to get anything going offensively. So they'll try and see what they can do here. And it looks like Anna D'Angelo is going to take the draw control with Hebb being on the sideline with her penalty. It's won again by the Spartans. Keep in mind now the Spartans going left to right, Eagles from right to left as the goalies switch after each quarter. We'll also have a 10-minute halftime break after these 15 minutes. So if you want to go outside, grab some orange slices and enjoy the weather for a little bit if you're in Connecticut, you can, and then come back for the second as there's a goal for Garcia, her second of the game. And the Eagles kind of shooting themselves in the foot with the penalty now, trail 5-2 on the man-up goal by Jada Garcia. So stat comes right out of the 2-minute break in between quarters, scores. And they have their 3-goal lead back. It'll be Hebb in the face-off circle for the draw control. Opposite of Serrato, who was taking all of them today for the Spartans. Ball is up, and it is won by the Spartans again. Serrato takes it into the offensive side of the zone. Serrato with it on the left side. Eagles looking to try and get their defense set. They weren't quite ready yet, it looked like, but now Amundsen over there guarding Serrato, forcing her to get it away over to Tarantino. Back up top with it now is Lucor. Now Gallison. Stack slowing the pace down a little bit here. Up by 3. Eagles had a couple chances towards the end of that first half, but were unable to cash in on the free position shot, as well as the ensuing possession after that. They were on a 2-man advantage briefly and weren't able to get any shots off of it, and then the ball on the man up went loose, and one of the Eagles players stepped over the line. I believe it was Kelsey Green. We think that's what it was, at least from up here, is what it looked like, resulting in a turnover for them. Spartans playing really slow here, about a minute and a half gone by in the second quarter. Still holding on to it is Gallison, and then Hebb just gets knocked down, and that's going to be a turnover for the Spartans. So the Eagles will have a possession here after Stack won the first 2 offensive draws to, the first 2 draw controls to get on the run the other way. Now running with it is D'Angelo. D'Angelo's hit, and they're just going to play on as they whistle it off. And Patfield just can't hold on to that pass. The Spartans come back the other way with it now. Loose on the ground, as losing that one was Van Dover. And now Peterson picks it up, and the Eagles have it back. So neither side has really been able to hold on to this ball so far in the early going of it. Now trying to get it is Peterson. As it was loose on the ground, she fires and it goes offline. Staying here with Post, and Johnson and Krupnikov now behind the net. Johnson's with it. Passes it over, tries to get to Patfield, I think, and then it just went away. Now Anna D'Angelo picks it up, and she's hit. Looks like that's going to go down as a free position shot for the Eagles. Free position shot here coming for D'Angelo, and fires it high and wide. It looks like she had the area, but just threw it left of the net. So the Eagles, with a couple of free position shots, have not been able to cash in so far. Johnson had the ball behind the net because they said that the Eagles got it back since the shot was high and wide. And then they blew the whistle. I'm not sure what for. And they'll do it again. On the outside with it is Peterson. Passes over to Piper. Piper now trying to make a move. Backs out. And has D'Angelo near her. D'Angelo now. Holding tight, looking to make a move. Can't do so either. She's pushed out by the Spartans' defense. And continue on as Piper gets it back up top. Piper towards the middle. Looks like she wants to shoot, but she can as Stack has been able to push them out, and Piper got hit as she was going in. And Magenheimer grabs it. So it'll be Stack ball here. So it looks like that goes down as a save for Magenheimer. And back the other way with it come the Spartans. Running across midfield with it now is Van Dover. Van Dover still holding tight to it in the offensive zone. Throwing it ahead now to Serrato, who's been in control of the draw control so far today. And then she's just taking her time. Things have really slowed down here in the second quarter. Neither team really doing too much after that quick goal from the Spartans and Garcia to start the second. Whereas we saw a lot of the high octane action come in the latter half of the first. So maybe that's what we're building to here. As D'Angelo just hit that ball all the way to the 50. And it's still loose. It's still loose. The ball is helping the Eagles out on this possession to get into the offensive zone as finally Ruby Mitchell is able to pick it up. And then she loses it right away as Van Vuren hits her. But then Mitchell gets it back, shoots, and she scores. What a wacky and wild play by the Eagles to go coast to coast with primarily not even either team having possession of that ball the entire way. Ruby Mitchell picks it up, gets it knocked loose, picks it up again, and then got hit while she was shooting. And it still found its way through Magenheimer's legs. And the Eagles get a big goal there to make it 5-3. And one of the weirder ways I have seen a goal get scored here so far at Lemoy Field. Ruby Mitchell, her first collegiate goal. She is a freshman, and she's also on the women's hockey team. So she didn't have any goals this year, I believe, for the women's hockey program. But she's got a goal here for women's lacrosse. Going coast to coast in a very weird way. So there's the action I was talking about that we saw in the second part of the first quarter as Ruby Mitchell ignites the Eagles with their first goal, and it's a 2-goal game now in favor of St. Thomas Aquinas. Another face-off win for the Spartans. And then Alyssa Hebb, what a play. Serrato lost the ball. Alyssa Hebb kicks it with her foot like she's still playing soccer for the Eagles. And the Eagles end up getting the ball back from it. And now another kick there from Amundsen, but it's picked up by Serrato this time. And now moving ahead with it is Gallison, and she loses it as Jez was trying to play catch-up. What a wild last minute we've just seen. You know, I talk about it going from pretty much nothing going on as the Spartans are gassed right now running down the field as both teams have been going back and forth. I think both teams are just looking for a breather at this point with the way things have been going so far. Gallison was just had her hands on her knees the way that she had to run back and forth for that one. So some nice plays here from Post in the last couple minutes. And that shot by Gallison's off the post, and then it kicks out. And trying to get it is the Spartans behind the net. Can't see the number. That looks like number 7, Luke Core. And it's going to be Eagles ball. So down now, the Eagles will come on the offensive end. 9 minutes and change to go. Never mind, they're giving the ball to the Spartans instead. 9 minutes to go. Tarantino with the ball behind the net. As the Spartans looking to get something going offensively, as the Eagles have kind of gained some momentum in the last minute or two with everybody using their different athletic talents. Alyssa Hebb plays for the women's soccer team this year. And again, like I mentioned, we've got multiple women's ice hockey players. So everybody using a little bit of their abilities, as we saw some of the hockey players pushing the ball up the field with the stick rather than being able to scoop it up until Ruby Mitchell was able to do it twice over. But now the Spartans slowing things down as we go to a little more calm portion of the program here after a wild last few minutes for both teams. Vandover with it over near the top of the circle. Trying to push it in. And Hebb doing a good job of getting it back out. She was just being checked out on the sideline, rolled her ankle on the last possession where she fell, but she's back out there and doing fine. It's a turnover for the Spartans, and Amundsen coming back the other way. Amundsen with some speed, pushes it ahead to Peterson. Peterson in space, pushes it up to Patfield. And Patfield off to the races now and is going to look for somebody. She does. She finds Mitchell again, who just scored. Krubnikov wide open on the right side, shot off the post, and it bounces back towards Magenheimer, who picks it up in the crease. Eagles with a great offensive chance there as Magenheimer wheels it out, and the Spartans moving back down the field towards the offensive end. A really competitive game so far for both sides. The Eagles controlling the shots on goal 11-8, and in the last few minutes have controlled the offensive zone. Whistle called, green card being awarded. It's going to be Karis Kale. A yellow card for unsportsmanlike conduct. You can't have those if you're a post. Especially in a 2-goal game. You don't want to draw any silly penalties. And unsportsmanlike conduct for Karis Kale sends her to the box. It's a 2-minute penalty. And just like that, Stack will have a chance to get the momentum back. Ball's loose. Patfield just coughs it up. She's kind of laughing. She had a shot to hold on to it and then just kind of lost it. So it goes back to the Spartans here with 7 minutes remaining. Only 2 goals scored in this entire quarter, 1 for each team, as Vandover pushes it ahead. Gallison now inside the red circle. And now they slow it back down. And Gallison was one of the Spartans who was racing down the field earlier, who looked tired. Again, the Spartans only have 1 player on their bench right now that they can go to sub in for. So right now that one is Claire Griffin on the sideline for Stack. Spartans looking to not only use this man up opportunity to get a offensive score, but kind of taking their time here on things to let it run down. And what a beautiful shot from Haley Gallison from way downtown. Scores from the left side and was able to get that one into the right side by Lauren Bain, and it is 6-3 Spartans. So like I mentioned, you draw a penalty that you didn't have to there if you're post. This is the second time that a penalty of that nature has come back to bite the Eagles, as it's led to 2 goals now for the Spartans. It's a really good shot, though, by Gallison on the left side. Eagles trail by 3 now, once again. It's the largest lead that the Spartans have been able to get so far today. They were up 4-1, 5-2, and 6-3. They've answered back every time Post has scored. And the big difference right now is that 3-0 run that the Spartans had in the first, with the game tied at 1, scoring 3 goals in less than a minute. It was like they used all their energy in that 1 minute, though, at the same time, because they kind of slowed things down as time went on. And that was a nice stop by Patfield, but it could not keep it in like I thought she did. And it'll actually be post ball now. Never mind, it is Spartans ball again. There's been some very confusing things that have happened so far with both sides and another whistle. A green card is awarded to Macy Peterson, it looks like. Macy Peterson used her stick to jam it into used the butt of the stick to jam it in the player, said one of the referees. So that's the call. A lot of cards for both teams so far in this one. A lot of whistles so far for both teams as well. Serrato's got it now as, again, it's another man-up opportunity for the Spartans. And this has been a very evenly matched game, folks. And right now the difference is that St. Thomas Aquinas has made the most of those man-up advantages that they've had as the Eagles continue to draw just kind of ticky-tacky penalties here and there that have led to a couple scores for the Spartans that has helped amass this 3-goal lead here in the first half. Don't want to give any space over there to Gallison after what she just did from that left side, and Post does a good job of getting her out of there. Ball's loose inside, and what a nice shot from the outside by Tarantino, but it's swallowed up by Lauren Bain with 5 minutes exactly on the clock and another whistle, and it's a yellow card now. That's on Megan Tarantino. I believe that's her second. So there's a green card that was awarded to Tarantino already. That was just a yellow. And now both teams have a man off, but the Eagles will have the man up in 3 seconds from now. As penalties have just come to bite both of these teams so far. I mean, neither team has been able to go, I think, more than a couple minutes now without drawing some sort of penalty. And it's a 2-minute penalty. Tarantino's already got a yellow. If she draws another, she's out. So keep that in mind. Again, this short bench, if the Eagles are able to keep drawing penalties from St. Thomas Aquinas, they could very well be up 1 or 2 players at some point in this game because of how short these benches are. As we tick down to 4:30 and counting to go. And the Eagles now with the chance to cut into this 3-goal deficit. Krupnikov with it. Gets it over to Heb up near the circle. Heb's got a goal today. She looks to get in, can't do so, and spins around. Throws it back to the middle. Patfield can't grab it. It's loose in front. No one's got it yet. Mitchell almost had it, and then it's just pushed over to Magenheimer. With 4 minutes to go. Stack ball, and again, Eagles on the man-up advantage. So the Spartans will look to just waste off the last about minute to go on this penalty, it looks like. Ball loose on the ground again. Just neither team has been able to hold on to this ball when it is in the neutral zone. And picking it up is Peterson. Peterson with a nice little one-handed shot that's swallowed up by Magenheimer. So Peterson nearly made the most of it. And Magenheimer just kind of throws it down the field. And as a result, Post nearly picking up. Amundsen can't hold on. No one's able to hold on. Amundsen finally picks it up and then loses it. It was Gallison that knocked it loose. And they're still fighting for it. It's a little bit like a rugby match over here sometimes with the ball getting loose. No team can pick it up with the stick. And now coming the other way with it is Schomer. Eagles pick it up, though, as it's loose, and uh-oh. Somebody's hurt for Post. Can't see who, but she's on the ground, and she's... I think she got hit in the head with the stick. I couldn't quite see. I also don't know who it is, so we'll wait to see who it is. We're not obviously going to show it on the stream either, so... Whoever it is still down. Again, I think she got hit in the head with a stick, but I really couldn't tell. Shelby Page, the head coach, first-year coach, going out there right now to check on her. I think it's... Yeah, it's Anna D'Angelo. And she's getting up and walking off on her own. I think she just got, like I said, I think she just got hit in the head with a stick, and she looks like she's okay. But I think she's going to get checked on the sideline first, probably a quick concussion test or something of that sort, since she got hit in the head, or just getting checked for any cuts or anything on her head. Yeah, she got hit on the she's she was reenacting on the sideline what she did, and then somebody touched the side of her head, and she said, "Ow, is it swollen?" And then she was immediately fine right after she said that and was smiling. So I think she's okay. I think she's okay. It's good to see that she's up and moving around and okay. And she just had a little bit of a funny moment there on the sideline with the coaches. So I think she's going to get a little bit of a breather for the rest of the first half. As the Eagles breaking out, it's now even strength again. Amundsen trying to work it towards the middle, loses it, and is behind the net with it. She's able to pick it up again, and then drops it on her own with no one near her, and picks it up and picks it over to Nikki Johnson. Krubnikov up top. And now Heb with it with 2.5 to go. 50 seconds or so on the shot clock. Heb making a move. Can't shoot. I believe they blew a whistle. I couldn't hear. And it's going to be a free position shot for post. So Alyssa Heb will take it. Chance to cut back into this deficit and make it a 6-4 game. Heb fires. Oh, what a nice shot. I think that glanced off of Magenheimer's stick, but I couldn't quite tell from here. As the Spartans will get possession back with 2 minutes to go. 90-second shot clock, so they can take it down to about 30-ish seconds or so. Give or take, maybe minute 41 it looks like on the clock right now. But the ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to be post ball. So a turnover by the Spartans, gives the ball right back to the Eagles with a chance in the waning moments here of the first half to get a goal or two back. The Eagles have slowed it down now. Piper just threw it over to Mitchell, and she picks it up. The wind's starting to gust. Johnson with a nice grab out of midair. That one was way over her head, and she was able to corral it. And now they settle things down behind the goal with Krubnikov. Krubnikov now. Another whistle. If you can hear the wind, I apologize. It's just it's a blustery day out here. And Krubnikov's going to take a free position shot here. Minute 19 to go. Krubnikov fires, and it's saved by Magenheimer, and Patfield, I think, just hit the post. It's the second or third post the Eagles have had in this game. And now Heb trying to make a move, gets around a couple people, a stop, loses the ball, picks it back up again, and now Magenheimer secures it in the crease with a minute to go. So Spartans will have the ball now with a minute left. And only 3 goals scored in this quarter between the two teams. 2 for Stack, 1 for Post. It was Ruby Mitchell. But the Eagles, like I've said, have had so many offensive chances in this game that they just got to find a way to break through against Magenheimer to get themselves ahead in this one. But they also got to be able to do things defensively to stop the offense from scoring. And Gallison gets stripped from behind by Piper. Gallison was getting ready to fire a rocket at Bain from the right side like she did before, and Piper got a stick in there to break it up. 15 seconds left. Gallison to hold. And now 10 seconds and counting for the Spartans to do something. Gallison waving around, and it's saved by Bain. And the Eagles will take this one into halftime, trailing 6-3. A very good half of lacrosse for your Eagles as they search for their first win of the season. They had their chances, and they'll see if they can make more happen in the second half. 10-minute break coming up. We'll be back with you in a little while here on the CACC Network and YouTube. Post trailing 6-3. And we are ready for the second half of action here from Lemoyne Field. Post University Women's Lacrosse in search of their first win of the season, currently trailing 6-3 against the Spartans of St. Thomas Aquinas College. Michael Vesey joining you on the call for the final 30 minutes of this one, the penultimate game of Post University's season, as they'll take on Dominican next week right here at home on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Like it's been all day, Heb and Serrato taking the face-off. And it's also good to see that Anna D'Angelo is back out there. I had to look over at the bench for a minute. Ruby Mitchell is over there on the bench, not Anna D'Angelo. Anna D'Angelo is out on the field after taking that hit to the head with the stick. Again, like we mentioned, she got up and was okay after that. And the Eagles have the possession early as it's Krupnikov in the offensive end. Krupnikov had nobody guarding her, and she just walked right in and scored. I am very perplexed at how that just unfolded, but you'll take it if you're the Eagles. Everybody on the Spartans defense was just watching Jessica Krupnikov run through them and didn't even move. And as a result, the Eagles score the first goal of the second half, and it is now 6-4. So to recap, St. Thomas Aquinas scored 3 quick goals in the first quarter when the game was tied at 1 to take a 4-1 lead. The teams exchanged goals back and forth, with the Spartans not able to take more than a 3-goal edge. That's been their largest lead of the day. And every time the Eagles get within 2, St. Thomas Aquinas answers back with a goal of their own to get it back up to 3. His face-off still loose, the draw control, and eventually Kelsey Green back in the defensive zone, gets it, and then throws a dangerous ball on the ground to Lauren Bain. Senior day goal for Jessica Krupnikov. Lauren Bain has had a big day in goal so far for the Eagles. My computer's still dead, so I can't pull up the live stats, but I will try and pull those up on my phone amidst all the other things coming across it about today. As if you were watching ESPN at all this morning, Brooke Dickinson made ESPN's top 10 plays with her triple play ball yesterday against Goldie Beacom College. Spartans with it on the offensive end, and I'm looking now here at the stats. It's Magenheimer's got 5 saves in the day, both goalies with 5 saves. The difference right now, though, is 2 goals with 6 for the Spartans. 2 of those from Garcia. 1 from Vandover, Serrato, Tarantino, and Gallison for Post. 4 different goal scorers, including Ruby Mitchell, as the Spartans have another. And it is Lily Schomer, the freshman, showing off the moves inside the crease. And like I mentioned, every time Post gets within 2, St. Thomas Aquinas answers back with 1, and they have again, and now it's a 7-4 game. So add Schomer to that list of different scorers for the road team. Mitchell, Krupnikov, D'Angelo, and Heb all scoring for Post. And only 1 assist so far was Macy Peterson. On the Spartan side, Vandover 1 goal, 2 assists, and Serrato with 1 goal, 1 assist. So a couple of multi-point scorers for the Spartans. None for the Eagles. Unfortunately, because of the way the stats system reads out, you can't quite tell how many penalties each team has taken. I have the number of minutes for penalties, 12 for the Spartans, 18 for Post. Both teams had 3 penalties in the first, Post with 3 in the second. Free position shots right now in favor of Post, 5-4. But they have not been able to score any, but they score right there. And it's Jessica Krupnikov again for the Eagles with 2 goals in the first 2 minutes of the second half. Folks, if you're just joining in, sit down and grab a seat, because it looks like we're in for a wild second half, as there's been 3 goals in the first less than 2 minutes. And 2 of them, as I just get done saying there's been no multi-point scores, have come from Jessica Krupnikov, who now has 2 goals on senior day for the Eagles. Like I mentioned in the first half, penalties will be a big thing in which Post needs to limit. St. Thomas Aquinas has 3, as it reads on the stats, power play goals, but man-up goals so far for the game. And that's really the difference right now. You know, the Eagles took some penalties that weren't very good at the end of the first and beginning of the second, and that's made the difference so far in terms of the goals being scored. Because the Spartans in equal situations have not had the easiest time getting around this Post defense and making magic happen. Although we saw Schomer do it a few minutes ago to give the Spartans that 3-goal lead. But it's back to 2 points again. 2 goals once again. And then flying right in for the score. Nope, they're going to say it's a crease violation. That was Gallison inside the crease. So that's big for Post because yet again, after getting the momentum back, they nearly gave up another goal to the Spartans, who would have regained a 3-goal lead. Patfield cannot hold on to it, and she's still struggling to pick it up. Finally does, and loses it again with the defense and Cody in front of her, and then loses it again with the defense in front of her with Cody, and now she's fighting her own teammate for it and ends up losing it completely, and it's on the ground everywhere. And no one able to pick it up, but Patfield's almost got it. Now she does. Peterson's going to get it. And now Peterson tries to make a move towards the middle. Push to the outside, loses it. And then loses it again. Picks it up again, though, and she's near the left side. Throws it behind the net to Nikki Johnson. 12 minutes to go. Eagles trailing by 2. They've now slowed things down a little bit. D'Angelo running through the middle right now, and it's behind the net with Patfield. Eagles looking to make this a 1-goal game here in the early going of the second half. Jessica Krupnikoff with already 2 goals in the second half, and then 1 for Lily Schomer. Into the middle, Johnson can't handle it, and it's kicked away. Patfield behind the net with it. Eagles retain possession in the middle. Magenheimer is going to swallow up that chance that Patfield tried to get over to the middle to D'Angelo. She scoops that up for a turnover, and it's going to go the other way with the Spartans. So the Eagles with some offensive pressure there, just not able to get a shot on goal against Magenheimer. Ball loose again on the ground. No one able to get to it. Peterson trying to pick it up, can't do so. And now Patfield in the way as the wind starts to blow. It's kicked out. Don't know who it's going to go to because I couldn't see it's off of. Post ball with 11 and a half minutes to go here in the third quarter. Krupnikoff, who has 2 goals already, picks it up and goes towards the middle of the goal. And now a stoppage of play here. We'll see what they call. They're saying reset the shot clock, as they will reset the shot clock up here with 11:05 to go. And now it goes, and that shot by Johnson goes off of Magenheimer, and now they're going back in. Magenheimer's not in net. If Peterson can get something off, they would have had space, and she doesn't move it quick enough. And Magenheimer gets back into the net, and now Piper's got it over near the top. Over to the left side with it is, I believe that's Amundsen or Kale. Can't quite tell from this angle. No, that was Tim Marie Grom. It wasn't either of them. Krupnikoff, a hat trick for Jessica Krupnikoff on senior day. She's got her 3rd of the second half, and Post trails by 1 with 10:34 to go in the third quarter. Have yourself a senior day. Jessica Krupnikoff with 3 goals in the first 5 minutes, and it's a 1-goal game. Timeout, St. Thomas Aquinas. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Post trailing by just 1. fresh off the timeout for Stack. Post trailing by just one. They're closest they've gotten since the first half when it was tied up at 1-1. And then the Spartans went on that 3-0 run that made it 4-1. And ever since then, St. Thomas Aquinas College has been in control of this one. But a critical face-off coming here, draw control, coming for the Eagles, who scored straight off of a draw control earlier in the game. As it's Alyssa Hebb and Serrato again. Ball's in the air. Hebb kicks it, and it's picked up by Gallison, and she is off into the offensive zone. Gallison has that strong shot. We saw it earlier in the first half that gave the Spartans that 3-goal lead. And now the Spartans trying to just take their time with it, but unable to hold on to it was Van Dover. The ball is still loose, and coming out with it now is Macy Peterson. She pushes it ahead. Ruby Mitchell in space. The Eagles have numbers the other way. Mitchell moving it ahead towards the middle of the field. She's already got one today, and she's going to be pushed out as the Spartans are able to get back. Johnson behind the net now. Eagles slow it down a bit. Krumnikov looking for a fourth. Can't quite get the shot off. Ball still loose on the ground, and they push it back into Magenheimer. A beautiful defense to offense transition by Post. And now another one in the air. It's nearly stolen by Hebb, but over there to get it is Gallison. Hebb, though, still in front of her along with Mitchell. This Eagle defense has been all over the place against the Spartans today. It's just getting that offense to continue to go, and we've seen Krupnikov get it going for the Eagles in the second half. Gallison still holding on to it. Amundsen in front of her. And Gallison now slows it down a bit with 9 minutes to go. You hear the Spartans coaches saying to pass and cut, stop holding the ball. Really everybody is standing around right now, and Gallison gets that one in the middle. A nice pass, it looked like from Serrato. Haley Gallison's got herself another one, and Stack regains a 2-goal lead here now with 8:56 to go. So the Eagles had a chance to tie it up just moments ago in transition. Weren't able to get a shot off there, as Krupnikov wasn't quite able to get a stick on the pass that was in mid-air as she came forward with the stick. Stack goes in transition the other way, works a little methodically, and is able to get a goal from Haley Gallison, her second of the day, and lead back up to 2. So that halts the 2-0 run by Post after the timeout from Stack. They got an 8-6 game. It'll be Hebb in the face-off circle with Serrato again. She's going to win that one, and D'Angelo gets it over on the right side. D'Angelo working and cutting through a few defenders. Grom now with it towards the middle. Patfield's got space. Patfield trying to make a move. Shoots, scores! Riley Patfield with a goal. And the Eagles are back within 1 again. Everybody's showing up to score today on Senior Day for Post. And it is now 8-7 once more. I told you guys, we're in for a treat here in the second half from both teams after all the early goals, and they haven't stopped since. Eagles lead 17-14 in shots on goal, and Riley Patfield with one right there cuts this game back down to a 1-goal game. Heaven Serrato. Again, this is why winning the draw controls are so crucial. You just saw how the Eagles were able to go off of the draw control into the offensive zone. And Krupnikov's got it now. And that's Piper with it. Piper now coming down with it into the offensive zone. The Eagles with a chance to tie here on the offensive prowess here in the second half. It's been everybody getting involved so far in what's been a 4-goal third quarter. Krupnikov now with it. Passes it back out to the top with Hebb. Hebb, Mitchell, and D'Angelo over there. Now Hebb making a move to the middle. Hebb is going to be fouled on the way in, it looks like, and that's going to be a free position shot. Riley Patfield, that was her second goal of the year. She's now got 3 points on the season after that one. Heb now, though, with a chance to tie it up. She's already got a goal today and looking for another, which would tie this game up at 8-all. Heb gets ready. 8:12 remaining. Heb to the box. Shoots. Scores. Alyssa Heb has tied this game up at 8-all with 8:09 to go in the third quarter. It also gives the Eagles the most goals on the season in a single game. Post has come all the way back from 3 down here in the second half to tie it up in the third quarter. We've got ourselves a brand new ball game, folks, as the Eagles now tied up at 8 with the Spartans. And a big reason why here so far in the second half they've been so successful offensively is because they don't have to go the full length of the field. Alyssa Heb has been doing a great job in the draw controls in the second half against Caitlin Serrato. And as a result of winning some of those draw controls, the Eagles offense has been able to slow things down and get into the rhythm on the offensive end. And you're seeing the fruits of Alyssa Heb's labor in the faceoff dot. We're now tied up at 8. Another face-off win for the Eagles, and Paige Piper now off to the races on the offensive end. She's pushed out over there by Van Dover and now loses the ball, and now it's going to be picked up by somebody. No one's going to get to it. A few girls on the ground. It looks like that's going to be Johnson who is hit, as well as Van Dover. Free position shot here coming for Post. It's going to be Anna D'Angelo with a chance to give Post the lead. Nope, it's going to be on the way outside, so she's probably not going to be able to take a shot from out there. No, I lied. It's not even a free position shot to begin with. Sorry, this is my first time calling women's lacrosse, if you can't tell. Anna D'Angelo gets it behind the net to Jessica Krupnikoff as we restart play here with 7:40 to go. Krupnikoff with 3 goals here in just the third quarter alone, and the Eagles have this game knotted up at 8-all, looking for their first win of the season. Piper now with it up near the top and moving it towards the middle. Paige Piper loses it, and it's picked up by Garcia. Garcia, who has 2 goals on the day, trying to get out of there, being hounded by the Eagles' defense. 4 girls all surrounding her, and no help for Garcia. And then a whistle blown, and they'll restart play. Patfield from behind tries to knock it loose, can't do so. We're back at midfield now with it. Garcia. Everybody chasing after Garcia. The Spartans don't even have anybody moving up the field in the offensive zone to grab it. And now over there getting it is Schomer. Schomer now, who has a goal in the second half, pushing it towards the middle. Has defenders all around her. She's going to push it out, and they're going to reset. Slowing things down now here. Serrato's got it towards the middle. Serrato shoots, and it was saved. Nope, scored. Serrato with the goal. Caitlin Serrato gives the Spartans a 9-8 lead with 6:49 here to go in the third quarter. So the Eagles, just after tying it up, allows Serrato to score, and it's now 1-goal lead for the Spartans. So the Eagles, again, winning a draw control there, had a few good opportunities to score against Magenheimer, just weren't quite able to get something going. And Garcia did a good job of holding on to that ball despite being hounded by the Post defense, which has been really solid today in terms of transitioning on both ends of the field. And as a result, just enough time for Garcia to get it over to Schomer. Schomer was able to move it around and find the pieces that the Spartans needed to get a really good shot on goal against Bain. And Serrato, a goal to give them the lead back. Serrato now will be in the faceoff dot with Alyssa Heb for this draw control. Again, the Eagles have been really solid in this third on the draw controls, which has allowed them to get back into this game. And Heb wins another. Heb now coming in transition the other way. 5-on-4 the other way come the Eagles, and Heb just with a head full of steam going towards the middle and is pushed back out. Heb looking for somebody to pass it to and can't find anybody, and I think they're going to say now there was a whistle there. I think Gallison might have hit Heb. So we'll get a restart on that red line. Heb moving around a defender and almost had a shot opportunity there and has to move back out. She spun Garcia around, and now it goes back out to the point with Peterson. 6 minutes to go, 9-8. St. Thomas Aquinas College leads. The Eagles looking for their first win of the season. If you're just joining us, Jessica Krupnikoff with 3 goals in the third alone. Nearly had another one there, and that one almost rolls in as Riley Patfield had a stick on it, and it rolled almost past Magenheimer's feet into the net. Just under 6 minutes to go now. Magenheimer with it. The Eagles have really had a good offensive quarter so far, and if St. Thomas Aquinas had to call a timeout, and another Magenheimer just like throwing it down the field and hope someone can get to it. It's a foot race for the ball, and it's going to be won by Anna D'Angelo. Magenheimer with another turnover, And coming the other way with it is Post. Piper in transition. Moves around a couple, and she's hit, I thought I heard a whistle. Piper, though, toward the middle. Oh, she's not going to shoot it then. She shoots it a little just wide. It's going to stay here with Post. Krupnikov behind the goal with 5 minutes to go. Shot clock at about 70 seconds. The Eagles trailing by 1. Patfield towards the top. Everything kind of slowing down now. And Alyssa Hebb now with it near the point. Anna D'Angelo on the right side now. Looking for some sort of cut towards the middle. D'Angelo looks to make a move, and she's pushed out there. Now Piper with it. Eagles outscoring the Spartans in this quarter so far. Again, it was 6-3 at the half. It's now 9-8. Krupnikov with 3 goals early on in this one, and she's looking for a fourth. She's going to try and turn the defender around. Can't do so. She's pushed outside of the crease. Krupnikov tries to make a move towards the middle. Can't do so again as 2 defenders are on her now, and it's knocked loose. Krupnikov is trying to pick it up. Can't do so, and Paige Piper gets it. Piper now with a little bit of space. Piper is going to be pushed out now. Behind the net with it is Piper. Once again, things slowing down. Only 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Piper is trying to do her patented move that she did against Caldwell. Makes the spin. Shot. And it's going to be blocked in front, and I think they might actually have a whistle, and that's going to be a card. Don't know who it's on. We'll wait and see. Thought I saw a card come out. Yep, yellow card being issued to... Looks like Paige Piper is going to get, I think I heard the words propelling. So I think Paige Piper just got called for a propelling penalty.
Is it 2 minutes? I got it. I just needed the time.
So a 2-minute propelling penalty. So again, I mentioned penalties coming back to haunt the Eagles so far today, and this is a big opportunity for St. Thomas Aquinas to take the lead by 2 in the waning moments of the third quarter. They already have 3 man-up goals. They have a chance for a 4th. But the Eagles have the ball, and Macy Peterson has the ball coming down the... Oh, and there's got an injury for Stack, but there's space for Peterson. She goes around the net, and... Player's now on her feet, so I couldn't see who it was as I was watching the transition play, and I thought I heard another whistle, but can't quite tell with the headset on. It's a man-up advantage, and the Spartans aren't really even trying to go after Post with the ball, as Hebb's going to go towards the middle. Hebb tries to make a move, and, you know, the Eagles would be just kind of better off, I think, trying to kill this off and not trying to force anything that might give them the ball back. Ruby Mitchell just took a shot way wide of the net. But there was a whistle before it, and I think we're getting a free position shot. Yeah, that's going to be a free position shot for Post. So a big opportunity here for Post to tie it up on the man down. Ruby Mitchell, who's got a goal today. It looked more like a hockey goal when she scored it, too, because she kind of didn't have control of the ball when she shot it. Eagles with a man down. Mitchell from the right side. Free position coming, and it's fired high. I think that was hit by somebody in the way, but Krupnikov gets it behind the net. Good play by her. And now back out with it is Krupnikov. Krupnikov gives it over to Peterson, who briefly lost it, and now pushed out is Peterson of the circle. Again, the Eagles playing a man down for another 45 seconds. Trailing by 1. Mitchell gets it in the middle and could not hold on, and Magenheimer had it for a second. Nope, they're going to say it was in the crease and give it to her. Peterson was not allowed to knock it out like she did. 30 seconds left. The Eagles are from killing off this 2-minute penalty. It would be a huge kill, especially considering they've been on the offensive attack for a good majority of it. Do the Spartans have a run in them to get down the field and score? And Jada Garcia turns it over. Excuse me, that was Charlotte Lacour who turned it over. And now the Eagles, once again, Hebb racing to the middle, loses control of it. And the Eagles right now, all you have to do is just get this penalty killed off. And they're going to be able to do that successfully. But you almost wish there that Hebb would pull it out instead of trying to force something in the middle for a shot, because you could get that man back in and then continue your offensive progressions. 2 minutes to go. Stack with the ball back for the first time, really, since they had that man-up penalty. The Eagles have been frustrating the Spartans offense so far today. Stack on the offensive end, can't do anything as Kale's going to pick that one up, and the Eagles got the ball back with 1:40 remaining. And then they lose it right again, and now it's still loose on the ground. Man, neither team really has just been able to hold on to the ball for too long from time to time today. We've had some sloppy sequences from both sides. But the Eagles have made the most of their opportunities, especially here in the second half, to get themselves back in this game. This is a big possession here, though, with time winding down in the third. If they can hold the Spartans off the board and maybe get one more opportunity to tie, you can go into the fourth quarter at least down by one, if not tied up. Vandover with it. Vandover looks to make a move, shoots high, and the ball will stay with Stack with 46 seconds on the shot clock and counting. 56 seconds on the game clock and counting. As we roll on here, the Spartans with one last try to extend their lead to 2 goals. Post tied it up at 8-all after trailing by 3 going into the third, and now down by just 1 in the winning moments of this quarter. Serrato passes it, and that one was high shot by Garcia. It's going to stay with Stack. 25 seconds left, 10 seconds on the shot clock. It's Schomer with it. Schomer pushing it over to Tarantino, and then it goes out, and that looks like it's going to be a shot clock violation as that ball rolls way out there. Lucor not going to be able to do anything with it, and the shot clock expires with 10 seconds left. 9.6 officially on the clock. Eagles probably not going to have enough time to get a shot off here. We'll see as 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 as they push it across midfield and just kind of firing it. Nikki Johnson almost had the ball down there as it was thrown in there by Anna D'Angelo. 2 minutes until the fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere. The Eagles in search of their first win of the season, trailing just 9-8 against St. Thomas Aquinas here at Lemoy Field. "15 minutes for the Eagles to potentially win their first game of the year." Mike Vesci joining you on the call for this one. It's been almost a year since the Eagles have won a game, actually. We were looking at it between periods. Last year's, in addition to this year and last year, posted obviously 0-8 so far this year, but they lost the last couple of games of last season. One of those wins that they had at the end of the year was a forfeit win by technicality because Chestnut Hill did not have enough players, so they won it on a 1-0 forfeit. They lost their final 2 games, their last win coming on April 20th. So almost a year to the day, the Eagles won their last game. Technically their last game. Their last actual game that they won was on March 26th against Caldwell on the road. So the Eagles looking to snap that stretch. We will count that win last year, obviously, even though it was a forfeit win, as a win towards their record overall. And so officially 364 days since Post's last win. They've lost their last 10 games since last year, and they have just under 15 now as we've gotten the fourth quarter underway. Minutes to tie and take the lead against St. Thomas Aquinas after trailing by 3 at halftime. Eagles had 5 goals in that third quarter. And a big reason why they were so successful in that third, winning draw controls and limiting the penalties. After having so many in the first half that it led to 3 goals for the Spartans, they only had 1 in the third quarter, and they controlled that man down situation on the offensive end for a big chunk of it. But we'll see what they can do here in the final quarter, as St. Thomas Aquinas had it in the zone, and that looks like it was Brianna Cody who is trying to get it in. Everybody has seen the field that was available. Talena Craig and Brooke Larson were not available for today's game for Post. Katie Papura, Jessica Carenti, and Madeline Schaefer were not available for St. Thomas Aquinas. Otherwise, every single player except for Aviana Ramos, who's available as the backup goalie to Lauren Bain, have been available for this game. In a great day Lauren Bain has had in net, and that one just kind of trickles into the back of the net. I don't really know how that one got in. I didn't think Haley Gallison got a stick on it. I think it just deflected off of her. But the Spartans score first here in the fourth quarter, 10-8. It's a 2-goal game again. So the Spartans have answered back with a 2-0 run between the third and fourth quarters now, after the Eagles tied it up at 8-all. The Eagles will have some work to do now here in the fourth, but there's still plenty of time left. In the way they've been playing offensively, they have the chance to do this one here, folks, and that's why we're in for, again, we had a very wild start to the third with Jessica Krupnikov scoring 3 goals for a hat trick. And it's been back and forth ever since, but the Eagles owned that third. They have to try and own the fourth here to take home the victory. Heb Serrato, same as it's been all day. Face-off is up. The draw control is up. And it's loose on the ground, but eventually won by the Spartans. That's Serrato who picks it up and then just loses it, and D'Angelo's got it. Now it's a post-offensive possession as D'Angelo comes racing into the zone and passes it up to Grom. Grom now with it on the offensive side, coming from the left, goes behind the net where Magenheimer is. Magenheimer now awaits Krupnikov coming in. Krupnikov with 3 goals in that last quarter, and she pushes it out to Peterson. Slowing things down now, the Eagles are. And now D'Angelo with it. 60 seconds on the shot clock. Post taking their time offensively. Now D'Angelo just makes a move suddenly, and that one's going to be stopped by Magenheimer. And it stays with Post. She almost like lulled the Spartan defense to sleep. They were all just standing there, and then she just suddenly cut and sprinted. And this is what I was talking about. Short benches for either side. This is the time where you make your move. Leave it all out on the field if you're both teams. This is where you can expend all that energy because you know you're not playing another quarter unless this game is tied, which then it becomes sudden death. Eagles taking things very slow on this possession. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. 2-goal game, just under 12 to go. Heb trying to find something. 15 seconds. Heb loses it. Picked up by Grom. Grom now picks it up with 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Gets it behind the net to Krupnikov. Krupnikov trying to make a move in. Moving around the circle. Shoots. And it's saved by Magenheimer. Just not a great possession there from Post at all to try and get something generated offensively. They were very slow with it, and to the point where they weren't able to really get anything going, although they did have that good shot by Anna D'Angelo about halfway through the shot clock. After that, things kind of just fell apart offensively as the stacked defense was able to kind of control them from getting inside that circle. Ball is still loose with Stack. They grab it it back, and that's Lucor now running over to midfield. Lucor over midfield on the left side, and that one's going to be stopped. It looks like they're going to be calling a... Yeah, it looks like we've got another card coming for Kale. Legal use of the stick for Kale, and it's a 1 minute penalty, and the Eagles will have to be on the man down, trailing by 2 with 11:08 to go. Kale, I believe that's her second or third penalty now in this game, and the last time she got one, the Spartans scored, and they nearly did it there again, as that was Gallison, who really had herself a great day for the Spartans, nearly just getting into the zone on Bain and scoring less than 10 seconds into the man-up. And now that shot's fired high by Serrato. The offense of the Spartans coming to play now with the penalty from Kale, putting her in the box, and the Eagles down 1 man. Pushing it back out to the red circle, Van Dover's got it. 16 seconds left on the man advantage. Van Dover, shot saved by Bain. And that should be able to do it. Bain's going to just throw it deep, and it's going to be turned over. But then Grom's going to be able to pick it up, so she salvages that one. And Grom now off to the races, carrying it way out in front of her. She probably should have 2 hands on that stick if she wants to hold on to it if someone comes at her. Grom now moving towards the middle and trying to get a shot off. She does, and it goes wide of the net. And winning the race to it is Post. Didn't see a call yet. That one took a while to get out of bounds. I thought it was out of bounds way before it was. Johnson, though, with it behind the net. So Post retains possession. Under 10 minutes to play here. Nikki Johnson tries to make a move. She's got some space, and she's not able to quite turn the corner there to get there. Ruby Mitchell with it on the outside, and now Krupnikov. Krupnikov with it. 2 defenders on her. Passes it back out to Mitchell. Mitchell behind the net. Patfield has it. She circles in front and tries to get it over to Heb. Can't do it. Krupnikov, though, picks it up. She's got a little bit of space, and then they blow the whistle. I think it'll be a free position shot, excuse me. Big opportunity here for Post to cut it to 1. Not much doing for the offense so far in the 4th other than that Anna D'Angelo chance, but Krupnikov now has a chance. Can she use the wheels to get in the box and score? And that one by Krupnikov goes in to the ground near Magenheimer. She's able to hold on to it. And with 9 minutes to go, Post starting to run out of time. There's still plenty of time left, keep in mind, but starting to run low on time to make something happen. And they're going to call a foul on Brianna Cody, and the Eagles will get to hold on to the ball here on the offensive end. Restart right away. Heb's going to go. You've got to do that if you're the Eagles and you have an opportunity. At times when they've blown that whistle to restart, the Eagles have been slow to get back to it and go. And that was another example where the Spartans could have been caught sleeping, and they just quite didn't get in motion fast enough. Heb did a good job, though, of getting that shot there on the backhand. Goes just wide, and Nikki Johnson was able to pick it up. So Post retains possession in the offensive zone. 8.5 to go. Heb with the move, and she's fouled. Free position shot coming for the Eagles with a chance to cut it down to 1 again. It's going to be Alyssa Heb taking the free position shot. Heb coming in, fires, and she's got it. Alyssa Heb with the goal, and it's a 1-goal game here with 8:20 remaining in the 4th. So the Eagles, a very big penalty kill when St. Thomas Aquinas, you got to go back to a couple minutes ago to make that possible. St. Thomas Aquinas with that man up on the Kale penalty, and the Eagles are able to get out of that jam, that 1-minute penalty there, despite some great shot opportunities by Stack. The defense held on in front of Lauren Bain, and then the Eagles, with even strength, are able to maintain possession and make Brianna Cody pay for a big turnover there on the defensive end for her check over on the Post defense. And it's a 1-goal game here. We're at almost the halfway point of the 4th quarter. And Post now, the draw controls have been huge in the second half, and I cannot stress enough that is why this Eagles team has been so successful in the second half. It starts at the dot and continues from there. And so far, the Eagles have been successful in the dot in the second half, as it's Anna D'Angelo taking this one with 8:20 to go right after the Post goal. D'Angelo is gonna almost won it. I don't know yet. Yep, it's going to be picked up by Serrato, though. So Anna D'Angelo nearly had the face-off with the draw control win, but it's going to be the Spartans who pick it up. And now it's loose on the ground again. A nice break up there by Kale. Kale's not able to hold on to it, though, and it stays with Gallison. Gallison pushing it over to the left side, and that's Tarantino now. Under the 8-minute mark now, the Spartans can waste some time. So if you want to get in the mindset of both teams right now, the Spartans are trying to waste as much of the shot clock they can, get that second goal. That would be huge to getting them a 2-goal advantage as time begins to wind down. If you're post, you don't want to overthink it too much. You still got plenty of time on the clock. You win this defensive possession. You stop them from scoring, and you can take your time still. There is plenty of time on the clock where you don't need to force a bad shot on the offensive end, and you can still play your game that you wanted to play and maintain that game plan you had coming into today's game. 7:20 to go. 34 on the shot clock. Bain with a nice save. And that one's in the crease. Lauren Bain picks it up, and the Eagles now coming the other way. Bain throws that one ahead to Grom. Grom's going to have a defender on her. Can she hold on with it? She does, and passes it ahead to Patfield. Patfield across midfield, drops it, picks it up again. She's looking for someone ahead, and she's got Nikki Johnson. Johnson's not able to hold on to it, and it's going to be picked up over there on the defensive end by Gooding. Gooding not able to hold on to it. Johnson's going to corral it, and now with the Eagles on the offensive end again. Chance to tie it here at 10-all. Johnson slows it down, 65 on the shot clock and counting. Everybody on the post offense getting down there, and again, like I said, you do not have to move quick. You just got that great stop from Lauren Bain, a chance to tie. There are still 6.5 minutes to go. Play your game on the offensive end, and you have plenty of opportunity still to make something happen if you're post. 1 goal each from each team so far in the fourth quarter after the Eagles had that big third quarter. D'Angelo is going to go. Patfield's going to jump in front of D'Angelo and grab it. And now Patfield trying to make a move towards the middle. Patfield starts to move and then gets pushed to the outside circle. And she'll throw it out to Peterson. Peterson tries to make a move now, and she's going to be pushed behind the net. Peterson moving around Magenheimer and net, trying to make a move happen. And she scores! No, it's behind the net. I apologize. Looked like she scored, but she threw it from a weird angle behind the net and wasn't able to get it on Magenheimer. It went off the side of the goal. From our vantage point, that looked like it was in the back of the net, and I heard some cheering, so I thought that went in. Spartans now, you got to get another stop if you're the Eagles, and Amundsen is right in front of Vandover with a head full of steam. Vandover loses it. Can Amundsen pick it up? Can someone from post pick it up and maintain possession? Schomer can't get it. Kelsey Green can't get it. And now it's picked up by Gallison. Gallison shoots. Oh, Lauren Bain, what a save to keep this a 1-goal game against Haley Gallison. And the Eagles now fighting for possession of it, but it's going to be picked up by Tarantino. 52 seconds on the shot clock, 5 minutes to go. Post trails by 1. They need another stop here after Lauren Bain with a huge stop on the transition take by the Spartans offense. Spartans, though, slowing things down. They know they don't need to waste too much time, and they're going to get a injury timeout, as it looks like that is Morgan Vandover, who's a little shaken up on the sideline. She'll come off, and with that comes Claire Griffin into the game as she'll get looked at. And now, again, keep in mind, the Spartans only had 1 reserve coming into the game, so hopefully 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 Morgan Vandover is okay and can re-enter into the game or be available, because again, the Spartans have a short bench right now in terms of how many they have remaining, and that was their only bench player. She's being looked at by the athletic trainer now as we're under 5 minutes to go, 30 seconds on the shot clock. Big possession here for the Spartans, big possession here for Post. They need a stop here to keep this at a 1-goal game. They've gotten them from Lauren Bain so far in this quarter. They need another one, and they need to get something going on the offensive end shortly. Only 10 seconds left on the shot clock. No sense of urgency right now from the Spartans as Lucor's got it. 6, 5, Lucor still with it, nothing doing. She tries to get it to the middle. It's loose. 2, 1, and it's going to be picked up by Karis Kell, and the Eagles get the stop that they need with 4 minutes to go. Krupnikov over near midfield. Can she get a handle on it? Over the other way, the Eagles have some numbers in transition. Krupnikov trying to get her 4th goal of the game, weaving in and out of the defenders on the Spartans' end. Krupnikov towards the middle, shoots, saved by Magenheimer with 4 minutes to go. And a really quick coast-to-coast move by Krupnikov, as now the Spartans, again, they're taking their time, but you've already just wasted 15 seconds off the shot clock, and it was bumped loose by Nikki Johnson. It's picked up by Cecilia Gooding, but the Spartans are getting a little lackadaisical with it as that just goes straight out of bounds, and Post is going to get the ball back. I understand the strategy here from the Spartans. They want to waste as much of the shot clock as possible. They have time to work with, but right now they're just not going quick enough where they're getting numbers in transition. They're really just letting Post kind of get in front of them and make stops, which you just saw there. Moving towards the middle with his hand, D'Angelo with space, shoots. Magenheimer with the save, and she's hit. I believe we're getting a free position shot here. And it'll be Anna D'Angelo to take it. Ruby Mitchell walking off now. I don't know if she got hurt or if she's just coming out. Have to come in. D'Angelo with the shot on the score. The Eagles have tied it up with 3:15 to go in regulation. Anna D'Angelo and the Eagles have come all the way back yet again. They trailed by 2. They trailed by 3 multiple times. We are tied at 10 with 3:15 to go. Very well so, the next goal could win this game. Will it be Post for their first time in 364 days getting a win, or will it be the Spartans getting their 4th win of the season? It all starts with this next draw control, Serrato and Heb. The Eagles have been perfect in this second half in executing on the draw controls. Alyssa Heb has had a great second half for the Eagles to help get them back into this one. And it's very well could be next goal wins here at Lemoy Field. So if you're tuning in, stay with us as we get ready for this one right now. Heb and Serrato set, and the ball is up. It's won by Serrato, and she's off to running the other way. Serrato going right by Kale. She's trying to make something happen right away, and now she's slowed down. The Spartans now showing that urgency that they weren't showing just even 3 minutes ago when they had that very long possession, as Serrato loses it on her own. Serrato now pushing it towards the middle. Gallison's shot. Oh, what a beauty. Just a few seconds after D'Angelo ties it up. Haley Gallison, nobody around her, and she just rifles that one. She has such a strong shot that you cannot give her any space. And when she's had that space that the Eagles have allowed her to have, she's made the most of it. She scores again there. It's 11-10 Spartans. .254 to go. Alyssa Heb and Caitlin Serrato. And again, after I just get done saying that the draw controls in the second half have been what have helped the Eagles get back into it, a loss right there essentially led to that Spartans goal as they retake the lead. .254 to go. The Eagles lose another draw control, though, and you're running out of time now in terms of making sure that you can get offensive possessions, because now the Spartans can waste 90 seconds if they can. Vandover back in the game. Good to see there is Claire Griffin on the sideline now. Subbing back in was Vandover after she was a little shaken up on the field earlier. 2:30 to go, and again, so the Spartans went from being very slow on the offensive end with that lead to picking it up once this game got tied up, and now they're slowing things down again. The Eagles have to show some sense of urgency to try and get this ball back. Garcia trying to do something. She doesn't really have to do much, though, as she ends up losing the ball, and then Heb kicks it out to nobody. And it ends up going right back to the Spartans as Serrato picks it up. Serrato now, the Eagles got to get somebody on her or somebody a little bit farther out, because if the Spartans are able to just waste the entirety of the shot clock, the Eagles are going to have less and less time. However, I would have to think if the shot clock does run out and Post gets possession, you'll see a timeout coming from the Post sideline, which will give us a chance to reset. As we're now under 2 minutes to go, the Eagles trailing 11-10. Their most goals they've had all year, have had a fantastic game, but they're looking for that first win of the season. And with a game against Dominican coming up next, nationally ranked opponent, could be the biggest chance of the season they get. Another shot by Gallison, and she scores, and that might just be the dagger. Haley Gallison with another great opportunity for these Spartans, and just like that, her 2-0 run has single-handedly given the Spartans a 2-goal lead here in the waning moments of the fourth. 4 goals for Haley Gallison. She had 2 coming into this quarter and has had the 2 biggest goals of this quarter for her team. St. Thomas Aquinas now leads 12-10 after the Eagles were able to tie it up just moments ago. Eagles got to win this draw control and get off and running to the races. Now you're running out of time as there is just 1 minute 29 on the game clock, 89 seconds, so essentially 89 seconds on a 90-second shot clock, not 90-minute shot clock, 90-second shot clock. So Alyssa Hebb's got to win this face-off, and they've got to get a quick score and then win another draw control. Hebb is able to win it, and nope, she's not able to pick it up. Not sure what the call is, but we'll wait and see. We'll Post retain possession. Yes, Post will retain possession. Post ball. Minute and a half left, less than a minute left. Haley Gallison just with 2 goals, and now into it is, oh man, a great shot by D'Angelo, goes high. Kind of lost my bearings there. If you're looking at the live stats, it just got changed correctly now. It's 12-10. It was not 11-11 if you're watching at home on the live stats. Less than a minute to go. Nikki Johnson trying to get something. The Eagles have to score 2 within this final minute, and they are running out of time as Haley Gallison with 2 quick goals helped give the Spartans the lead. Hebb with a shot there against Magenheimer, not quite able to get it to go. 42 and counting, the time running out on this game for the Eagles. Hebb's got to hurry up. She's just walking behind the net, and now she moves towards the middle, tries to get a shot, can't do anything with it, and then going to pass it out to Krupnikov. Krupnikov not able to get into space. Now back out to D'Angelo. D'Angelo shot saved by Magenheimer, and that is probably going to do it. Nope, there's a whistle blown. Are they getting a free position shot? They are. Big free position shot here. Couldn't hear the whistle, but everybody stopped. If Anna D'Angelo can score here, and then the Eagles can win the faceoff, they still have one more gasp at life here, but it relies on this free position shot right here or a rebound and score. D'Angelo in, fires, saved by Magenheimer, and that should all but do it as she's going to hold on to it. 19 seconds on the clock, and Post, unfortunately, a valiant effort today, are unable to secure that first win of the season as 2 goals in the final 2 minutes by Haley Gallison are going to sink them as Schomer is going to run the length of the field and not get his shot off as the ball's loose. She picks it up, and the clock hits 0. So the Eagles, a fantastic effort today, nothing to hang their heads about. 10 goals on the day. They lose 12-10 to St. Thomas Aquinas. It was a great second half in general by Post University. Let's look at the numbers real quick. 7 second-half goals, including 5 in the third. 2 in the fourth to St. Thomas Aquinas' 3. The biggest part about it was down the stretch, the Eagles did get a couple shots on goal that were big, including those scores that helped them get back in this game. So let's recap this game real quick for you as we finish things out from Lemoy Field. It was all Spartans early on, 3 goals from them back-to-back in less than a minute. Took a 4-1 lead. They took a 6-3 lead into the half. And then going into the second half, Post trailing by 3, Jessica Krupnikov with 3 goals in the third quarter alone helped the Eagles get back into it. Riley Patfield and Alyssa Hebb put together a 2-0 run that helped tie it at 8-all. And then Caitlin Serrato with her goal before the end of the third was able to make it 9-8. St. Thomas Aquinas led 10-8 on Haley Gallison's first of 3 goals in the fourth quarter. It was a rocket from the left side. And then Alyssa Hebb and Anna D'Angelo both score within, as the time winded down in the final quarter. And with 2:54 left, it was Gallison again, and 1:29 left. Gallison scored again. D'Angelo had a free position shot within the final minute that could have got Post within 1. Wasn't able to get it home on Magenheimer, and that's how time expired. So Haley Gallison, your player of the game, if you're looking at the numbers. 5 goals on the day for 5 points, 4 ground balls, and 3 caused turnovers. The big reason why the Spartans were able to pull off this win. Lauren Bain, a fantastic senior day for her. 8 saves, allowed 12 goals. Jessica Krupnikov with 3 goals. 3 goals from Alyssa Hebb. Anna D'Angelo with 2. Ruby Mitchell with her first collegiate goal. And Riley Patfield with her second in her career, first and only in the game. Post loses this one 12-10. They fall to 0-9 on the year. Spartans move to 4-11. The Eagles have one more game against nationally ranked Dominican, their final conference game of the year and their final game of the season, looking to avoid going 0-10, try and get that first win of the year on Wednesday afternoon, right back here at Lemoy Field. We'll have somebody on the call for that one. But for Mike Veshi and the rest of the crew here from Lemoy Field, signing off. Final score of this one, Spartans 12, Post University 10. Thank you for joining us on the CACC Network and YouTube on a beautiful Saturday afternoon from Waterbury, Connecticut.